Good morning. This is Bill from Europa, Naples on a lovely overcast Florida Thursday. Don't mind it at all. Nice break from the rather intense sunshine that, I guess people up north love, but you get kind of sick of down here. Anyway, what I have today is this incredibly attractive and very well preserved third generation Toyota 4Runner. The third gen is pretty widely thought of as maybe the best, at least in terms of being a great all-around vehicle, for street and off-road use. It was truly the first dedicated 4Runner SUV. The first two generations were, well, the first one was more or less just barely a converted pickup truck into an SUV body. The second one a little more so towards the SUV. And then this third one represented a lot of engineering changes from Toyota and a true dedicated body on frame that was only for the 4Runner, well, also the Land Cruiser Prado in other parts of the world. But it was really, sort of a giant leap forward in 4Runner evolution. The 99, this one, it also saw some mid-year upgrades and changes. They changed the ergonomics. They made a few tweaks here and there to the bumpers and the headlights and the running boards. And I think it's pretty safe to say they made a great looking vehicle. And man, does it look great going down the road. But it was expensive. This thing in 99, the way it was decked out, you're probably looking at something approaching $40,000, which was a lot of money then, and moved this vehicle into a class of its own. You can see the styling is gorgeous. I love the big chunky front bumper, the little projection fog lamps down there, the parabolic headlamps, sort of the color-coded, fender skirts and humps, the white over the gray that you get on this limited model. I suppose silver is more accurate. Good-looking 5-star alloys on there. You got a roof rack up top. And truly just a very, very neat piece. The first 4Runner really wasn't the first 4Runner. That was the first gen. Toyota had tested the waters for the 4Runner with something called the Trekker, which was very much a converted pickup truck, branded and done by Winnebago, of all things, and sold at Toyota dealerships. Those things are worth a fortune now if you can find one. But anyway, to go on, this still has the electrically operated rear window that goes down. Neat feature. You see the rear wiper. This one has a tow package, very useful. And of course, because it is a true body on frame truck, this isn't a pretty SUV. This thing, well, it is a pretty SUV, but it's not just a pretty SUV. Most of these things that look like this are, they're designed to operate only within the Whole Foods parking lot, and if you try taking them in your backyard, you're probably going to get stuck. Not so with the 4Runner. These things are real off-road machines if you want them to be, and that's a big part of why they're such cult classics. This one uses coilover suspension all the way around, rack and pinion steering, and it drives pretty damn nice on the highway while being an incredible performer off-road. And frankly, they're getting to be a little bit collectible this generation. The prices have been edging upward, particularly the limited 4-wheel drive. I don't know, maybe there's another version people like. Anyway, back here, everything nice. You get pretty good cargo room. You can see where a detailer left a leaf in there. Thanks. It still has the retractable cargo cover. Nice to see. The original floor mats are there. Yeah, a little worn out, but, you can tell from 99 for it to have the original mats and for them to look like that, the car's been pretty well kept by its only one owner. Also has this accessory mat to keep the underneath carpet safe. So everything lovely back there as it should be. A good solid example. I know it looks a bit wonky on the camera, but again, if you look at what's out there in a 99, you'll be able to tell this thing's an absolute cream puff just by the fact that all this stuff is still there. Have a look under the hood. Okay, so under here is really what makes this generation beloved, or at least one of, if I can get the damn thing open, for the love of God. Would be nice if they also used if they also used hood shocks. Anyway, that is a 3.4 liter overhead cam, 4 cam, 24 valve V6 that puts out a ton of torque, very good horsepower, and is widely considered to be the best motor in the bunch for off-road duty. This one, again, all Florida. It's been well maintained. You can see there's no nasty northern rust under here or underneath the car, which is what you want to see. And that is a terrific motor under the hood of this thing. Truly one of Toyota's best. Got that thing back down. That is a heavy hood. Okay, here in the back seat, you can see that everything looks quite nice. You have very good leg room. Being unlimited, you have very attractive leather. Lovely to look at, very nice to sit in. Also, obviously, those fold down, so if you need more cargo, you got it. The fit and finish is all very Toyota. Again, you know, for an upmarket car, again, something that costs like 40 grand, basically, you got a Corolla's door panel with a little bit of wood on the window switch to denote that this was a more expensive model. But that said, it is, you know, incredible quality for the materials that they use and chose. The simplicity works fine. It has a nice two-tone look, and because it's a Toyota, it's just not going to fall off or get loose or break. And that's another big reason why these cars are still so valued today and so sought after. They are essentially indestructible inside. I mean, you could beat the crap out of them and make them look bad, but they're not going to come apart because of manufacturing. Okay, up front, beautiful leather seats, absolutely gorgeous, nice and supportive, very nice to the touch, very nice to sit in. It has driver power, again, with this being the limited model. Also being a one-owner car, which is nice. We ended up with really all the keys that you could possibly get with it and the books. The guy obviously really valued this car and kept it well. He owned it for what, almost, in fact, exactly 20 years before trading it in, so you can pretty much rest assured the thing treated him well. Over here, same story, sort of a very basic, you know, Toyota door panel with a little bit of faux wood thrown in to give you the luxury feel over all the power windows, locks, power mirrors, that sort of thing. All right, let's hop in. So 99, they changed this whole dashboard. It went being, you know, from what it was, very utilitarian, to being a little bit more luxurious and user-friendly. So let's fire it up. I'm using the wrong key, maybe. Let's see. There we go. There's that nice big 6 firing up to life. Let's turn our AC down. Running nice and smooth. Get our seatbelt on. I do appreciate that this car doesn't give you a bunch of warning beeps when you fire it up. It gives you a little time to get your seatbelt on and get situated without beeping you into submission. So anyway, the instruments all moved here in front of the steering wheel. They were kind of scattered before. You can see, you know, nice and basic. You have your tach, you have your speedo, you got your fuel, you got your water temp, and in the middle you have your transfer case setting, where you can go from, let me get my glasses on so I can tell you exactly. Bear with me. Okay, so you can see here we've got 4 low, 4 high, and there's H2, high 2, or high 4. So you can have it basically operate as an all-wheel drive unit if you want to. I can't remember if you have to be in neutral or not to. Let's see, there's a 4-wheel drive button. We're gonna pick that and let's try to put it in 4 low. I think we have to be in neutral. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now you can see we are lit up as 4 low. Get into drive instead of neutral. There we are. So in this setting, you could pull a tree stump out. To change that, you go back to neutral. Go over to, now we're in 4 high if we want to be. And that's a lot better in terms of, you know, not pulling the stump out, but if you need to go down the road in unsafe conditions, you can have all-wheel drive to do it. We're going to go back to neutral. And let's see if we can get over to 2-wheel drive again. There we go. So now we are back into two-wheel drive, and that's going to be how you operate it most of the time. You can see up top you got a nice big glass sunroof, lovely. Let's see where that opens here, I think. All working fine. And again, being a Southern car, no rust up there of any kind, so all very lovely. All right. And I can tell you, in pure Toyota fashion, we have freezing air conditioning coming out of the vents, which is absolutely lovely. Very nice, useful center console. Again, in that faux wood, which I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a bit much, but it's fine. You got some cup holders there, your emergency brake. Nice, tall little center console to rest your arm. A couple of 12-volt outlets here and a cigarette lighter. Ashtray if you're a smoker. In-dash CD and cassette. Climate control. And there's the back window back there working fine. A really neat feature on these things. Lovely. And away we go. So truly, this was the first 4Runner that had very, very civilized road manners. You know, it still maintains itself as a true off-road, you know, truck, four-wheel drive, if you will, but becomes lovely to move down the highway. You know, nice light steering, nice feel from the wheel, nice feel from the brakes. The suspension doesn't jar your spine. It's just a great running machine. You have a nice high seating position, all the better to do your off-roading in, or, you know, look down at the strange couple in the Miata at the stoplight next to you. All right, there's that rather torquey six-cylinder bringing us up to speed. I mean, it doesn't throw your head back or anything. I mean, it's not a race car, but it does have a very nice power curve and works out exceptionally well for either off-road use or just going down the highway. But, you know, for the most part, this is a bit of just a Luxo cruiser with off-road credibility, and really nice to look at. You know, it's this generation has just aged so well. Really, really pretty cars. All right, trucks. I'll give you trucks. It's body on frame. It's a truck. So, you know, there it is. A 4Runner like this, you're in a real, you know, true off-road machine with credibility, while at the same time handling your SUV needs. So, you know, if your wife is looking for an SUV, try to talk her into a 4Runner, because then you're going to be able to go out rock crawling when she's not looking, or when she's out visiting her mother. You know, try doing that in a Nissan Rogue or something. You're way better off in this machine. So, there it is. You know, I'm not going to go on and on. You get the idea. This is a one-owner, 1999 Toyota 4Runner Limited. What's the miles on this thing? Can't even read them. 156 on the digital Odo. One-owner miles. Beautiful dealer maintenance since new. And it's good for another 200 or so before you have to think about fixing anything. And, of course, that's what makes these 4Runners so magical at the end of the day. Thank you very much for having a look. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you with the next one. Take care.